I am currently sick, so if I'm moving out of the frame, it's probably because I'm coughing. Um, yeah, we have another Seoulite TV video. I really enjoy these videos. New Jeans parents need to explain their own bullying behavior. Let's go.
On some very, very thin ice. They have directly inserted themselves into this ongoing battle and war between their precious kids and everybody else in the Hive building. And in this case particular, the so-called hello and goodbye scandal, the bowing gate of Hive. And I think then now it's high time for these parents to hold their own press conference to tell us face to face to not only explain the behavior of their children, not only explain the parenting style that they adopted, but to even now explain their own behavior. They went to a news outlet, a print publication, gave an exclusive interview, called BLIF Lab liars, accused Hive of selectively deleting CCTV of this horrible incident that they hope would never happen to their kids again. And even if what they were saying was 100% the truth, it's over such a non-issue of somebody didn't say hello back to me, to my precious daughter. And with the way that they're going out and acting a mess, I predict that the Korean public is very quickly gonna turn on these parents, and they won't even know what hit them. So we often say, oh, be gentle, that's somebody's mom, that's somebody's dad, they're somebody's child. And yes, of course, we should definitely give people grace and patience. Like if somebody says something wrong to you or gives you a bad look, you can ignore them. On the other hand, what we don't say enough of is that is somebody's mom and dad, and yet they are still acting like that. They're still being evil. They're still being abusive. Think of all the people who have wronged you or done bad things to you. How many of them had kids? I'm willing to wager that many of them were parents. And just because you're a parent doesn't make you Jesus. Jesus himself didn't have any kids for all we know, but you know who I bet did? The guy with the hammer nailing him to the cross, saying, I have kids to feed. Sorry, Jesus, you good? Oh, well. So just because you have a kid doesn't mean you get out of jail free pass. On the contrary, it should make you behave in a much more measured
more
and
responsible
noble and wise manner. So that's why I think this behavior from the New Jeans parents is quite shocking, because on the whole, publicly Korean people will not really call you evil, but they will look at this behavior and start to think, oh, these might be people who just haven't learned enough. That's also still a euphemism, but basically they calling you low class, shameful, haven't been brought up properly yourself. That's why your kids are a mess. But the common response will be to ignore it. At the basis of these parents' complaints is one of our daughters got ignored, and not only that, the manager of the
typical young parents
told the rival girl group members specifically to ignore our daughter. And that
We're talking about
is what they're trying to prove happened. And they think that if they prove that that really did happen, that is an actionable offense. These girls have nothing to do with your daughter. You're not even in the same company. Yes, you are under the parent company, but very specific measures were taken at Adore to create a separate legal entity. They don't concern you. Also, these girls, what it does is basically the game, in short, that's being played, is that we're ignoring through this situation that New Jeans, Adore, Mini Jin, whoever you want to call it, maybe even the parents themselves at this point, whatever, that whole team had been at that time in the early summer of this year, been lobbying intense attacks, bullying online, in the press.
I don't know, it looks like the New Jeans parents think that they are part of the management or the damage controlling side of the industry. Like, at this point, it doesn't seems to me that they protecting their child. It looks like that they are simply making money, or they looking forward to the payday because they are doing a lot of smear campaigns online, like as if it's they're doing for their children. Like, and of course we know that they are largely doing this for money, not because of their children, because if they wholeheartedly supporting their children, they wouldn't do this online and stuff like that. True parents, it's they gonna stand in front of the perpetrator, or at least that they think they are. For example, the management, the new CEO and stuff like that. And they gonna talk to their in their faces. Like, true parents that they are truly care about their children is not going to put this stuff online first. Like, true parental feelings is coming so deeply. Like, this is not the first step that a truly caring parents would do.
Charges of copying and all of the malicious bots that started to attack all of the Islet members.
And this copying and blaming other groups under the same company, this is so technical and cold-hearted, manipulative thing to do, especially in the defense of your children. Like, you think that you're doing this because of your children's well-being, and no, this is solely a industry people would do. Like, this is the mindset that someone do when they are simply involved in the working side of things, like not involved as a parent, for example, because this is, like, as I said, it's damage controlling sort of saying. Like, you're gonna do this in thoughts of, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to go from point to point to do the stuff that the management and the leadership is wants me to do, in order to control the situation that the label is in right now. Like Adore, the corporation, the hype, like, it looks like that they secretly hired the parents. Like, it's so weird.
And you think that if the Islet members just ran into the New Jeans people that in the hallway, that's going to be all of a kumbaya? Yes, you can hide a lot of your rage through the kumbaya bow. I'm going to call it the kumbaya bow.
I like it.
And it ain't about hello. It ain't about goodbye. It is all about, if I could have just said, hi, you know? When people say that it's stressful to live in Korea, yeah, even hello and goodbye has been weaponized to this point, or is so necessary as a shield to shield yourself from being abused or accused. And in this case, again, being accused. So the game that it looks like the New Jeans team is playing with this is hiding their own bullying by accusing Eyelet of bullying. When
Eyelid.
how can that be
Not
bullying
Seraphim.
whatsoever? And then to kind of get them into a flustered state so that they stop. So then that what that does is shut down
The Eyelid
Eyelet's
is even
side
younger
from
than
remembering
Eugene's.
you guys are bullying. You guys have bullied us, and instead of lobbing that attack back, they're defending themselves over some claim that has no merit. Have I seen this with my own eyes in Korea? And why do I think that this is an important topic to bring up? Because you really have to see and acknowledge that not only are children bullies, but their parents are bullies too, and you can tell when it's like parent, like kid. I may have mentioned this in a previous video, but my boss was bullied by a kid just like this. There was an intern that came in, and she was being extremely rude and loud in the public.
That's crazy. Intern is bullying the boss.
There was a cafe there, so maybe the espresso noises, made you like have a louder voice. But all he did, my boss, was tell this intern to be quiet. She got pissed off. She complained to her dad. Was her dad a high-level executive at our company? No. Her dad was a high-level executive at a totally different broadcasting company, a rival broadcasting company. So does he have power over our company? The answer should be no. But in a very abusive environment, yeah, apparently he did have enough influence where my boss had to have his pay suspended for 3 months because of an intern complaining to her dad who bullied our company that he has absolutely no jurisdiction over. Imagine if you were a partner at a law firm and you told a law intern to kind of keep it quiet. She complained to her daddy at a different law firm, partner at a different law firm, and then made your pay get shut down for 3 months. This is the type of bullying that is reminiscent when I look at this situation and the poor Eyelet girls and what they are going through because somebody is trying to create an instance out of nothing, either running through some game or because their ego is totally bruised. The other part of the game is it looks like the New Jeans members may know that they are doing this under false pretenses in order to create a case.
I mean, at least Eyelet is not under a door. Like, this is the only saving grace, but they are in the same building every day, so I could not imagine, like, Eyelet, I don't know Eyelet how young the members, but they are younger than New Jeans, I think, yeah. So you go to work underage and you go work every day and you get bullied in your workplace from a group that is barely older than you, and they are literally brainwashed by their boss. Like, how and if you doesn't have the protection and they not bullying you physically, they do it mentally or with words, and you cannot do so much about it, especially in that industry. I mean, I don't know what I would do.
Of bullying so that they can try to get an official bullying case on the books to justify their departure from Hybe and Adore without paying the fee that would be hundreds of millions of dollars to be able to exit out of their contracts. So this whole ruse, this whole game, even roping in the National Assembly and paying a little bit of gravy is all worth it and does make sense if you can see how many people would benefit from the payoff of not having to pay the exit fee to take New Jeans out and to somehow win the lawsuit to try to get the stock options granted. So hundreds of millions of dollars are on the line here. That's why you're getting cooperation from people who literally, under other circumstances, would never give you the time of day over the exact same issue. So back to the parents. I'm sorry, but you guys really are on thin ice. We've burned through, oh, they're innocent kids. We've burned through, oh, they're being bullied. It looks like the kids are the bullies. We've burned through, oh, it's their parents protecting their kids.
And if we think about it, like this bullying behavior, this is not just learned. It can be inherited as well. I've had classes in college, in university, about this type of behavior, parental figures, behavior style, and patterns can be inherited down for children as well. So if the parents were bullies when they were young, or they get bullied by their parents, like, it's most likely that a few percent of the heritage of this type of behavior can be passed down from the parents for the children. So I can see that as well. If I'm looking as a through objective lenses, like, yeah, if we're not mixing feelings in the case.
It looks like parent, like child. And if we've burned through, like, oh, these parents might be just innocent victims, they're just new to this whole, like, industry. No, it looks like they're pattern abusers and they know how to.
It looks like they are new in parenting to me. Like, no shade, but a little bit of shade. But they are not really presenting themselves in public as a loving parents, like, as they should in this situation, and always behind closed doors as well. But I don't think that's true as either. So yeah,
use these techniques well, and perhaps that they're teaching their own children. These are 10
to how to bully.
parents,
yeah, they're teaching
so far
that.
as we know. These are 10 people now who are opening themselves up to, it only takes one of them screwing up at some point in their lives to bring this whole jeans factory crashing down. And they don't think now that they don't have people around them, because it's always the people around you who betray you. You don't think that with their newfound
that's
success,
the biggest blow,
that there are jealous frenemies around them who now probably would be in a position to betray
outing
their
out
friends,
the parents in public.
because all it would take is one instance,
yes, exactly,
where the Korean public would then just be like, I knew it. They were like those kind of people. And those kind of people, that's a horrible place to be, because it is, on one hand, discriminatory, yes, about like low class, like it could be an economic sense, or it could just be even like an educational sense. But even among people who don't have that much money, there's still that judgment as well, because if you're not valuing your life based on money, but basically on values, anybody can have values. And actually, it's even more noble, like the less you have and you still have your values, that
But
is
these
something
parents are
that
not
people pride
striving
themselves on
for
and
that.
don't like to see it in people, especially when they have a lot more acting a mess. So these parents, I think, now really have to defend themselves
True,
to
true.
the Korean public
Yeah.
because they are literally right at that line where people are just thinking like ill-mannered, mean, crass, bad. And what is the proper response when you deal with somebody like that? You ignore them. You ignore them. So
Exactly.
maybe it's already happening to the parents and they're so upset that they're being ignored. But that is what happens
Good.
when you deal with somebody who is not worth your time because they're acting a mess. You ignore them. So even if what
And it sounds like that the parents are thinking that they are the main characters in this story. Like, no, it's about your children. And your children from a young age, underage, started working in an industry that is known for using young children in order to make a lot of money and doesn't think about the consequences in the future that they are causing problems with the child's mental health. So yeah, the parents should feel bad, like, yeah, and it's not about them, and they are lost the line that there should be followed. I think, like, protect your children, that's the thing.
these parents are saying is true, that, oh my God, Eyelet's manager told Eyelet to ignore Honey in the hallway. Even if that were true, even though all the evidence shows that it's not, but even if it were true,
They think that that case is enough to go to court. Like, I like I said, it looks like that a door, or I don't know, like someone hired these parents to pretend like they are the managers of their child. At the same time, they are never learned how to be a manager. Like, they are clueless, they don't know a thing about the stuff that they are talking about online and in real life. Like, they are blowing up so little things out of the water. Like, it's a comedy at this point, like, from the parents' point of view. Like,
I hope that the manager said to just ignore her. I would hope that the manager was able to calm the girls down after being so bullied
yeah,
and attacked and
yes,
just say, you guys, ignore her. Let's move on. We have things to do. Of course, that would open up Eyelet and the manager to so much scrutiny and it would be all twisted. And by whom at this point? Because it seems like the whole New Jeans team, including the New Jeans parents, are definitely on one team and acting as one team. They would twist the words of the manager or what had happened and manipulate it to their advantage. The whole constant theme that we have seen from the evidence on the New Jeans side is that manipulation to their advantage at the expense of others is fair game. Whereas everybody else is trying to hold their values, their very demureness, their very classiness, their very mindfulness. And one of the techniques, especially in Korea, that is approved is to just ignore it and walk away. It is like bumping into the woman who slept with.
I mean, it's a good technique. I did this like nearly 4 or 5 years in high school because I did not like the environment that I was in. So, and apparently no one liked me at the time. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to put my headphone on and I'm going to walk away, walk around. I'm not going to talk to anyone. And sometimes I've seen like they are trying to talk to me, or they are looking at me and talking about me, but I did not care. So sometimes I felt bad about that I can communicate with anyone. Like, I was in a full girl class, so you can imagine that, yeah, the atmosphere was not the best, but we were a relatively small class, so whatever. So yeah, nearly 4 years I did that. And I guess I was the problem, I don't know, but most of the times I felt angry, really, not sad, but I was toned down after that. So I would not say that you can ease up on this type of stuff, because you have to break out of this. Like, you have to stand up to yourself and talk your truth. But in this particular situation that they are in, like the island members, they have to listen to their manager and their leadership, because they are very, very young. And I guess I hope that they are not gonna give up their young career because of this situation, and soon this going to be solved. But this is all about money. They are gonna want to save the money that they would have to pay out if they are breaking the contract. So yeah, they trying to tactic out of their way of this situation, but I don't think it's going to work.
With your husband at the grocery store. And now that side piece wants to roll the CCTV camera from the grocery store to prove that you didn't say hello to her back, and accuses your friend of saying, hey girl, just ignore her. Let's just go. As if your friend was in the wrong, as if you were.
Oh, and by the way, I tried to talk with my classmates, but it was always very passive aggressive communication from their side. I was trying to be nice. I mean, I only asked about them things that I didn't know, like, where is this, where is that, when we going to go there. Like, I didn't annoy them. Like, I was just there. But I guess I was the odd one in the class. So yeah.
Were in the wrong. Instead of, let's focus on what really had happened and who is the actual side piece that is betraying everybody in the building. Remember, we even had a judge rule or say in his statement that Minnie Jin, yes, had done things to betray Hybe. And who are the people supporting the betrayer? At some certain point, that, I think, can be the bigger crime. The people who support knowingly somebody who is doing wrong. If we were to believe Minnie Jin and, maybe she has some mental issues. Okay. If we're supposed to
I agree.
maybe give her some grace on the mental issues, then
Maybe a
what about
little
the
bit.
parents? Do they
The
all
parents,
have mental
yes,
issues too?
yes, also, yeah.
Why are they
It
supporting
looks like
this egregious betrayal of
it looks
trust?
like some
So
kind
the
of
mothers of the
cult.
New Jeans members claimed that the CCTV footage had been selectively deleted.
I would like to read that. Sunny has potentially decided to attend the National Assembly speak on bullying and workplace harassment. Her family wholeheartedly support her every decision, of course. Honey grew up by my side. We cherished every little precious time together. Her openness to express herself growing up in difficult situations outside the house was always a challenge. Fearing that her opinions were not valued or respected concerned me greatly. Her love for music and dance was encouraged as an extension to express herself better. This is where she found solace, or whatever that word. I know what it means in Hungarian. When the incident at Hype occurred, upon her telling me this upset me deeply, this felt this would be a narrative that would continue to play out in her life. We needed to stop this from repeating itself, and I encouraged her to speak up. Honey, attending the National Assembly is a great responsibility, one she does not take lightly. She truly has found a lot of courage to speak up and stand up for herself. We are truly proud of her. Through this action, Honey past, present, and future will play out so she can do better things in the coming years. Her strengths will come from the real people that continue to love and admire her like her own family. Everything otherwise is to diminish. It's so interesting. Maybe it was just me, but when I was in this situation, when I did not I can't express myself. Growing up in difficult situation outside the house was always a challenge, blah blah blah. This was the exact case with me in high school, and I didn't told about it for example my mom, because this is my mom's message, so Honey's mom wrote this. But yeah, I guess I didn't find it that big of a deal because I didn't talk about it with my mom. So she got to know about it like a few years ago when I was like out from high school. Like we talked about school and I was like, I never felt good about school environment. Not even elementary school or high school. My university years was the best. I found friends there. But yeah, it's really weird for me. I guess Honey is an only child, probably, because they are focusing on her very, very much. I mean, we are human beings. We can learn, we can grow and experience a lot of things, and I think she is protecting her is a good thing, but sometimes parents can overstep their boundaries with their child. I don't know. I mean, if her mom was okay with her entering the music industry this young, I would not say that her issues in the situations are valid, because she agreed that her start this journey and basically growing up really fast because of this experience in the industry. So I don't know.
They even had the testimony of a security guard who seemed like they were trembling or nervous say that, oh, there's different CCTVs. You know, all of this mess, it doesn't even matter. Because let's say 100% of what the parents are saying is true. If that were the litmus test of bullying, then the entire country of Korea needs to go to jail. The entire office building of the National Assembly needs to get shut down.
I mean, this is the same thing that Songi, that's how you say his name, from Bang Bang, with the Burning Sun case, that that he said that, oh, in the messages, like, they talked about women as a toy, and that, and not even human beings and stuff like that. And in the court, he defended himself with saying that, oh, if I'm going to jail, it's simplified, if I'm going to jail because of that, then every man in South Korea should be in jail. They said something like that in defense, in these types of messages, like, okay, dude, okay.
Can you imagine? I don't even know how they're doing this hearing with Honey right now. Can you imagine once they really actually realize what she's complaining about, you're gonna see some confused looks on the faces of people who weren't paid off. And can you imagine how many guilty faces need to be suppressed? Some of these National Assembly members probably did much worse than what was being accused of as internal
True.
bullying at HYPE, just on
Yeah.
their way to the hearing room. That National Assembly building is an incredibly toxic and contentious place. Like many other buildings, you've heard of all of the Instagram accounts that detail the bullying over even in Washington, D.C., in all of the congressional members' offices. Can you imagine like one congressional staff member, a junior staff member, complaining and asking for a full congressional hearing because somebody, a staff member from a different congressman's office just decided to ignore them
That
in the
would be
hallway?
funny. I mean, it would make headlines, but it would
What
be
kind of
hilarious.
ridiculousness
Yeah.
is that, and a waste of taxpayer money and time? So Hybe released a statement of their own through Belief Lab saying that this needs to stop. This is outrageous, the claims that are being.
Okay, some of that I'm going to read. This has been confirmed through investigations conducted on June 13th, the day the parents of New Jeans raised the issue. After reviewing surveillance footage and consulting with relevant staff and artists, it was verified that the two groups crossed paths for only about 5 minutes on May 27th at the High Building. The footage shows ILIT members exiting the elevator and bowing at 90-degree angle to New Jeans members. Honey, who was standing in front of the elevator. Member Honey. I mean, she should be happy that they even bowed. Like, at this situation, like, they probably scared of her, and they scared of Adore and Min Hee-jin. So yeah. And they, oh my god, I don't know if it was a calculated move, but the parents raised the issue on June 13th. We know June 13th is what? BTS's anniversary. I mean, I can see that Min Hee-jin is pulling the strings in the parent situations as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Min Hee-jin told the parents, like, this day you have to raise the issue and file the papers, because my shaman said that this is a really nice day, you know, like, and she obviously knew that June 13th is what. And I mean, I don't know.
Made against ILIT, and that ILIT's manager never said anything about ignoring the members of New Jeans. We have Hybe denying it.
Ever since this issue was raised, we at Belief Lab have participated in the investigation with sincerity and good faith, knowing that we have always asked our artists to treat the artists of other labels with respect and courtesy. However, despite the explanations we provided upon request, unverifiable new claims have continued to surface. Consequently, this fabricated issue has now escalated to the point of being addressed during the National Assembly's national inspection. At this juncture, we can only question the motives behind these actions. In an effort to protect our employees who are in more vulnerable positions compared to artists, because important attention.
We have eyelet denying.
We have refrained from
CCTV footage that shows that
discussing this matter until now. However, as continued efforts are made to portray a fictitious. Oh my God, what is this word? Fictitious. Okay. Event as fact, the relevant staff has expressed severe emotional distress and a profound sense of being unjustifiably accused. In matters like this, where a simple greeting between neighbors should have been resolved in good faith, I agree. Out of the public's eye, yeah, there is only one true victim, the protocol team staff who is being wrongly targeted. I mean, yeah, like, poor protocol team. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Oh.
there was nothing. It was reviewed even by Minnie Jin in August, and then she's saying like, oh, it must be some other CCTV. The normal practice of any company in Korea, even by law, is that you cannot hold on to CCTV footage. It has to be erased for privacy concerns. But they're twisting that general standard business practice into something in their favor, saying that, oh, Hybe is manipulatively deleting CCTV footage.
That's not even surprising.
If they kept all the CCTV footage, I bet it would probably look a little bit worse on the 16th floor and what was going on up there. You should be glad that they're deleting the CCTV footage.
I mean, if it's there, release the footage, please.
Because now,
if they still have that,
I believe the New Jeans members' parents defend their actions publicly in a press conference of their own. If they're not willing to do that, then I want the...
I mean, honestly, Suga's scooter, I know, case was resolved because the CCTV footage was released. So we should see the footage of this day. So yeah.
Salty members, the salty parents of anybody else in that building, the number of parents of other K-pop group and idol members that are being affected by...
Yeah, can you imagine, like, this story is solely about Eilit disrespecting New Jeans Honey. Now you can imagine that, painting the picture for you. They came across in the elevator. The Eilit members are bowing to her, and in the distance, like, I don't know, 8 steps from them in the corner is coming the Seraphim or an Hypen, like, or a 17 member, and they can testify that nothing inappropriate, it does not occur during this interaction. Like, I would be really interested what in the footage is like that. And maybe, but they are too polite, and the media training is happened with, for example, 17 and Hypen, but they would lightly refer to Honey as a attention-seeking teenager who is fooled by her ex-boss slash mother figure at the moment. So she's not really reliable and we cannot trust her feelings at the moment. Like, and I'm saying the facts, like they would sugarcoat it because the agency would give them a script, maybe, possibly, but it would be really interesting to see that footage.
These 5 New Jeans members now outnumber you. Those 10 parents of New Jeans are widely outnumbered by all the parents of all of the other artists in that high building.
True.
And don't tell me that there's not going to be at least a few that aren't so up on their demure and mindful training. I want them salty members to come out, okay? I want them salty members to ride in that same elevator where apparently Pang Shi-hyuk, the chairman of HYBE, didn't properly greet the most junior rookie members. I want that salty parent to ride in that same elevator where they had to peel and scrape off the stickers that the New Jeans girls plastered all over the building with names of their rival, of a rival company. You know, these New Jeans members' parents are virtue signaling, saying that we hope that our children won't experience this problem again. We don't know why.
But they are causing these problems.
Making up stories when there's nothing else. I think they are revealing their anxiety about lying, making up stories when there's nothing else. That's literally what they're doing.
They can do anything and they don't want to lose money.
Who is speaking up for the elevator to make sure that that never happens again to the elevator? What about the elevator's parents? I hope that elevator doesn't experience being the
poor
site
elevator,
of accused
honestly.
terror ever again. I hope that elevator doesn't have like all these like semi-permanent stickers plastered all over it and then needing to use like
biggest victim of this story
to get that
honestly
off. You know, when I was working in Korea, only the insecure bullies ever cared about how you said hello and goodbye. And if you look at a lot of Korean social interaction, and you might be wondering like, oh, wow, everybody is so nice and everybody is so, you know, community oriented. Like they say hello and goodbye so well. They're, you know, bowing and all this kind of stuff. Yes, there is some aspects of that that are admirable and wonderful about Korean culture to foster that sense of mutual respect. But I would be leaving a lot out if I didn't mention that a lot of this is also your insurance policy. Even though this is looking like about hello and goodbye and caring for the other person, a lot of it is extremely selfish insurance to protect yourself from being accused of being rude. So a lot of people...
That's why the protocol team is so important.
That there are crazy people out there who get pissed off at the way if you didn't say hello or goodbye properly. So a lot of people are over covering and making sure they're over budgeting their hello goodbye to make sure that they don't get attacked or, you know, stabbed in the back over some stupid thing about hello and goodbye. You know, so much so that, you know, once somebody told me that they had a coworker who got married and he and his wife went down to the hometown of the husband to greet everybody. And the wife was bowing for days so much on end that she had to take extra vacation time after they got back to recover from all of the bowing. Why? Because if just one person said that wife, oh, she seemed rude when she bowed to me or something like that, would create unnecessary drama. So this, I mean, she just over budgeted way, I bet, And the ironic part of this is that there are now rumors that they're not even going into the office, that the New Jeans team, they've set up satellite offices elsewhere. They work from home. They communicate.
Honestly, in the sake of other artists at Hype, they should avoid the building. Like, in my opinion, that's a good thing. Like, they are not want to be associated with the company, and the company doesn't want to be associated with them, like at all. So until this situation is resolved and Min Hee-jin is out from the board of directors, they should stay away from the building, because it would be a lot of he said, she said in this situation if they are not releasing the CCTV footages. Like, and they can't do that either. Like, every time someone is whispering about, oh, she didn't bow, oh, he walked away without looking at them and say hi. Like, they can't release the CCTV footage all the time when someone is crying about something. So yeah.
Through their devices, and that they're not even going into Hybe. So really, what is all of this for?
But I don't know if is that breaching contract? Like, they are breaking some kind of contract obligations if they are not entering the building? I don't know.
Except an elaborate scheme and strategy using people who are being probably promised some of the gravy from the payoff if it works in Min Hee-jin's favor, to be able to pull off a heist. It literally, that's what it is. They're trying to steal the stock options, and they're trying to weasel out of the contract terms where they would have to pay an exit fee. So essentially, hundreds of millions of dollars.
So basically, they, as it was said, like, they are trying to exit the contract without paying the fees. That it would follow the contract breaking. But also they think that if they are not entering the building and the area, that somehow making better their case. Like, I don't know, I heard a lot of instances that they are separating themselves from certain companies, the people that are trying to out themselves from that situation, from that company, that working place, from that kind of people that they are working there. This is not an example from High, but a different situation. But I don't know, that they are thinking that they are in a better end of the story if they are not in front of the eyes of the CEOs and the board of directors. Like, I don't know, they are distancing themselves even more, and they not even trying to do the right thing in this situation, in my opinion, which would be being in that atmosphere and in that community and trying to bow yourself back in the graces of the people that are controlling your musical career at the moment. So I don't know.
Are on the line. This is all a ruse. This is their strategy. This is why even the parents are willing to put themselves out into the field of battle. But I'll say, honey, come now to the field of the press conference. Let's see if you can say these same exact words with a straight face. Really? To be able to tell the Korean public straight on that this is such a
That will not
monumental
happen.
concern over hello and goodbye. Because really, I think what they're scared of, this is going to be their final goodbye. Again, let's talk about the scale. Minijin stealing a company, embezzling, bringing shame upon the company with an unresolved sexual assault and workplace bullying case, actually bullying this person with pages of Kakao Talk texts, intimidation, doxing this former employee to the national media, including her salary information, and calling her a psycho. Why isn't Minijin being dragged into the National Assembly to answer questions about internal bullying at Adore? Why are they questioning the new
That's the
CEO
question.
that barely got there, and
Yeah,
the moment she
poor
got there
woman.
was brought to tears by the New Jeans girls themselves, and then being accused of faking those tears when we know the real fake tears are dry at a press conference that you pay a lot of money for? Where is the second follow-up interview by the actual police into an open investigation against Minijin? Where is her laptop from the initial audit and investigation? We still need to see your laptop,
At the
Minijin.
shaman.
These are all the things that are being covered up. And before, I would say so easily, but now I think the Korean public is just looking at this and be like, we're done being manipulated, because the Korean public in the end does not want to be the last fool in the room still clapping for the blue hat, green shirt girl, because that would be so embarrassing. And then what happens is that embarrassment and shock transfers over to then looking down on the New Jeans parents, whether it's justified or not. But that's what I'm saying, is that these New Jeans parents need to be very careful, because they are right on that line from being labeled by the Korean public as just not only bad parents, but just low class, however you want to interpret that. All right, guys, what do you think? Put your comments below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I think the New Jeans members' families are pitiful at the moment, and I feel nothing towards them but a little bit of shame, although I don't know them and I don't know the full details about their accusations, but the stuff that they are accusing of a lot of people are not court worthy, and it would be simply resolved with a apology or a bow or something formal stuff like that. They are blowing out of proportion of this stuff, and they are hurting their children even more. B, I would like to, in the end of the day, see the parents making a press conference and say the things that they are really thinking and feeling in front of the general public, because that would reveal their real colors in front of the people, that if they are still believing that they are telling the truth and they are protecting their children, or they just want the hundreds, I don't know how many money that they are going to have if they are leaving the company without paying. So yeah, thanks for watching, and link to the original video in the description as well.